Welcome back. You're watching Canadian Innovators. Joining me today is Anthony Lacavera, founder and chairman of Globalive, an investment company focused on creating and building sustainable businesses. Anthony, how would you describe the current state of the communications industry in Canada? There's been a lot of discussion over the years about Canadians paying too much for various services such as cellular service, internet, and some other communication services. And I saw an interesting article, I'm not sure if you saw it, in the Financial Post recently, that claimed that Canadians actually weren't overpaying for these services, despite all the talk we've heard about that in the past, and are actually receiving more and better services at more affordable costs than they ever had. So I'm interested in your view as an insider, what you think of how much Canadians are paying, and are they paying more than they should be?
Yeah, I think, look, the headline reality here, Catherine, is that Canadians are aware that they're paying more than people are paying in other markets globally, including obviously the most readily accessible market being the United States, where we as Canadians have often friends and family and relatives that are living, working, going to school in the U.S. and see what's available, and Canadians can make a pretty easy comparison in that regard. So I think on a headline basis, there's, in my opinion, there's lots of room for Canadians to benefit from more competition. And that's really what this comes down to is by having a more competitive market, naturally, of course, all the players in it, big and small, are going to innovate, deliver new products and services, and offer more value for those products and services from a cost standpoint. But I think it's what's important for Canadians to think about with respect to wireless or any other telecommunications services, that there are many different products and services and offerings out there. And it's really having more competition in the market, which all Canadians should want, will lead to even the big players being a lot more aggressive. And when they don't face competition, I don't think any of us should be surprised that we feel a less competitive market out there. And we all see what that leads to in terms of costs and service levels. On the other hand, when Wind Mobile was in the market, we were an independent carrier. In that 6-year period where I had founded and operated Wind Mobile, prices came down 20% in all the markets that Wind was operating in. And very importantly, everyone in that equation got the benefit of that savings, whether you were a Wind Mobile customer or not, of course, because the big guys had to pull up their socks as well, which they can easily do if pushed. And that just sort of made better service offerings for everyone. Again, whether you were a Wind Mobile customer or not. So I think that that's what's needed is more competition. And I think that the Trudeau government is pretty clear at this point that they're committed to this competitive policy framework, and particularly the fourth wireless carrier policy, which I'm very encouraged to see them publicly standing ground on that.
Yeah, no, me too. And there's no question, as someone, my background's economics, so there's absolutely no doubt competition works. And you're absolutely right. The interesting thing that people don't necessarily think of is that when you do have a new player in the market, they change the terms for everyone. So suddenly everybody has to bring their prices down or improve their offerings or, value for money and so on. We only have about a minute or so left in this segment, but I wonder if you could briefly talk about the very big deal that Globalive has underway right now with TELUS that's fairly recently been announced. And I understand it's kind of a first for Canada. Could you tell us, I know it's hard to say briefly, but could you tell us a bit about what that deal's all about and what it'll mean for Canadians?
Very excited about it, Catherine. And what we're able to do with this spectrum and network sharing agreement with TELUS is, if Globalive successfully acquires Freedom Mobile, we're going to be able to offer Canadians the same great value for money that we offered with Wind Mobile. We're now going to be able to offer that with the same network experience, coverage, and feeds that you have from the big three carriers. And so it's very exciting in terms of what the potential is. And you're absolutely right. This is an unprecedented agreement. I'm very proud that Globalive is trailblazing this. You're going to get the same great value for money you got with Wind Mobile, now with the same network experience as the big three.
Well, that's obviously a very welcome development for Canadians, and you're going to be taking over assets of Freedom Mobile, which you originally in your company Win Mobile were owned by you. So it's kind of everything old being new again, isn't it?
Very much so. Very
Yeah.
much so. It's a bit of a repeat, but I'm back to do it again. We did it before. We're going to do it again.
Well, that's great. Well, once again we need to take a quick break, but don't go away. You're watching Canadian Innovators.